guys, it's Aaron here from Console Deals, back again with another on-camera video to cap off your week. I hope you've been well. I know it's been a longer time than usual, but I'm returning here today to not discuss a game or even a headset. No, today we're going to be talking about the new FUSION Pro Wireless controller for PlayStation 4 from the folks at PowerA. I believe it released towards the beginning of this year. They finally got around to sending us one out, so thank you very much to PowerA for that. And I thought, because this is a bit more of a premium product than some of the things we typically unbox on the channel, I thought as well as giving you guys a traditional unboxing, I would then go more in depth about what the controller actually offers you in a more, relaxed sort of different format where I address you directly. So before I give you my full thoughts on the controller, let's dive straight in with the unboxing. Okay guys, so here we are with the big and beautiful box itself, displaying all the Pro Controller's lovely features on the back there in explicit detail. We're going to have an up close and personal look about what it holds in store as part of this unboxing. And the first thing I will say is that, even just from seeing the box alone, you can tell this is a premium product. It doesn't feel like cheap cardboard. And as you'll see when I eventually dig into it, there's quite a snazzy design lacing around the controller, which I kind of appreciate. If not on the controller itself, at least go all out with the packaging, which PowerA have obviously done here. And look at that. I've just got to show you that because it looks rather smashing. Has absolutely nothing to do with the controller itself, but they wanted to get jazzy. So yeah, moving on to the box itself. Let's get out of the packaging here. And you'll notice that it comes with a lovely hard shell case. So if you're ever traveling, obviously we're not doing much traveling these days, but you can live safe in the comfort and knowledge that your controller will not break whenever you're in transit. So let's pop it out here. I won't tend to keep it in the hard shell case when I use it because that would be inconvenient. And they've even gone through the trouble of wrapping the controller itself, but we'll throw out the foam there. And we'll go into the little bits just in a second. But as you can see, they've gone all out in terms of the presentation. So when you spend your hard-earned cash on this, you're going to get your money's worth. So the controller itself, first impressions, it feels nice and sturdy. Analogs move well. Satisfying click of the triggers, which is most important for shooters. And you even get a full D-pad rather than the split four-way option. So yeah, just we can pop this off because it's a magnetic faceplate. And what I'm going to show you here is the process of swapping out the thumbnail sticks. And as you can see, it all looks very complex, but it's actually rather simple. So that just clicks off there. And you've got multiple options as part of this package, but I've gone for the longer height one there. So it aids with precision, basically. I'll put it on the left. I think most people put it on the right because that's the one you're actually turning the camera with a lot of the time. But for the purposes of this unboxing, I'll do it wrong, just for you. And yeah, it feels just as good. We're going to pop the faceplate back on and we shouldn't have any trouble at all. It actually sucks on there nice and satisfying. So we'll just pop it down, and now you're going to get these anti-friction rings, which work similarly to the thumbnail sticks. Why do I keep calling them thumbnail sticks? The thumb sticks. I'm combining my words. But as you can see, there's like a ridge here just in the center of the circle. And you can take those out and pop them in for these blue ones. So you get the blue and black option. They each have different levels of friction depending on, how much resistance you want your analog sticks to have when in use. So it takes a while. Obviously, new products like this, they're really stiff to begin with, but once you've done it a couple of times, it becomes gradually easier and easier. So there you go. It looks a bit ridiculous with one blue and one black at the moment, but once you find your preferred resistance, you'll be fine. And next up, I just thought we'd take a tour of the controller itself. So you can see you've got the rubberized grips underneath, you've got the back paddles. And the analog sticks and the triggers, they do really feel nice, as well as the face buttons. You get that really nice feedback. So here's where you'll be charging it. It comes with a proprietary USB-C cable, or USB to USB micro, I beg your pardon. And the back paddles, you get 4 instead of 2, and the hair trigger locks are easily adjustable. You get 3 notches there, depending on how much of a distance you want your shooting action to be determined by. And like I said, they've really gone all out with this one. 4 back paddles instead of the traditional 2, so you can program them to any other button option on the controller, as all Pro controllers should offer. Now I just wanted to compare this quickly to the standard DualShock 4 because they obviously released the back button attachment not too long ago. And you can clearly tell, as good as this is, it wasn't designed to make use of it. It looks rather garish and you always can tell it's there. Whereas with the FUSION Pro controller, it's just always, it feels snug, like it was meant to be there. And I've never once, while using it, accidentally pressed the back paddle. but you can always detach it and just replace it entirely. So here's what you get with the controller itself, various thumbstick types, but I'll give you a quick look at the braided cable here. So as I mentioned, it is proprietary for this controller, and it is, unfortunately, because this is a PS4 era controller, it's micro USB rather than USB-C. And it will go in eventually. You should hear a nice satisfying click. You just plug it into your PS4 and it will charge nice and easy. Now getting out is where I had the most trouble. So you'll see me, I struggle there. But, you know, it only takes about hour and a half, I think, to charge, and it was really good. It already reached full. But overall, I think PowerA have done a nice job. It's a nice premium package. Okay guys, so there you have it in terms of what you actually get when first opening the box for the FUSION Pro controller. But what are my general thoughts about this? Now, obviously, while it kind of makes sense to think that, you know, most professional players largely play on PC because, you know, in shooting games, you just, the best precision you can get is from a mouse and keyboard setup. But the reality is that for people that haven't been able to pick up a PS5 yet and primarily play on console and, you know, like playing games like Call of Duty, Overwatch, or even Fortnite, there are always going to be those people out there looking for the best edge in terms of how to, you know, shoot you first online. So while I get that there's a need for this exist and that most people would like to, you know, play these competitive games on a level playing field, it's just a simple reality that using a DualShock 4, you know, you're going to do well against everyone, even a DualSense if you're playing on PS5. But if you want to, you know, gain the advantage in that split second that counts in terms of time to kill in a competitive game like Call of Duty, then it might be worth investing in something which PowerA have provided here. So like I mentioned before, I really like this controller. It generally retails for $129.99 according to the official PowerA website. But I'm seeing it out there at places like Game for just $89.99, which, you know, is a £50 price hike compared to the standard price of a DualShock 4. So the question really comes down to, what does that £50 get you? And as you would have seen in the unboxing portion just now, it gets you quite a lot of extra bells and whistles that should come in handy. So the one I'm the most fond of are actually the hair trigger locks, which you can sort of adjust the distance in terms of how long it takes to squeeze the trigger on the top there, which might not seem like a lot, but, you know, limiting that time in order for your button input to sort of be registered kind of makes a lot of difference in terms of time to kill in a competitive game. In terms of everything else, you know, it's a really sleek controller. The faceplate design comes off really easily, and it's not too weighty, which is a particular factor that I love because I've used third-party professional controllers like this before, whereas they bundle in so many extra features and so many extra, you know, niceties that the controller kind of starts to feel heavy, which can kind of annoy you the longer. If you're a competitive player that's used to, you know, just sitting on your couch all day, playing long play sessions, then it's eventually going to start, you know, starting to ache your hands or give you that fizzy feeling. But I'm pleased to report that the FUSION Pro controller largely manages to avoid that. I've used it now for a good, I'd say 5 to 6 hours across, you know, 2 or 3 play sessions, and while that might not be a lot compared to, you know, what a professional first-person shooter player would use or what is used to, I think it still says a lot that not once did I kind of, you know, was I annoyed by this. You know, it's got the soft touch matte black on the top there, so whenever your fingers brush over the controller, it feels really comfortable. You got the rubberized textured grip underneath, so that if you're someone that starts to get sweaty palms, you can be assured that it's never going to slip as well. And while I'm not someone that really loves the sort of extended thumbsticks, which can increase your sensitivity, I really come to appreciate the hair trigger locks as mentioned, because I can adjust, you know, how long it takes for me to squeeze and pull the trigger. And I think the other big question of this is, if you're planning on getting a PlayStation 5, is it going to be worth picking up something like this? To which I would say, for as great as this controller is, it might not make the most sense, because while it works on PlayStation 5, as indeed a DualShock 4, obviously both those controllers will only work for PlayStation 4 games. So if you play Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and you're playing the PS5 version, I don't believe that the FUSION PowerA Pro controller is going to work with that. But you can always download the PS4 version of that game and then, you know, enjoy playing it that way as well. Obviously, it works wirelessly with the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, wired with both as well, but also works wired with the PC. So if you're someone that just wants to have a handy, nice, decent quality controller around for single-player games as well as multiplayer games, the PowerA will see you through. You can obviously read my written review, which I've typed up, and it's over on the official Console Deals website. I'll link it in the description below. But until then, guys, let me know, are you used to using third-party pro controllers like this? Have you found them really good value in the past, and do you get much use out of them? Because I understand that this is a premium product and it won't necessarily suit everybody. But until then, I want to thank you for watching this video. I want to wish you a happy weekend ahead, and until next time, happy gaming.